So let's start with the first mistake I'd like to share with you, which is burying the main point. The way that I wanted to present these mistakes to you is first show you an example of this mistake so that you understand why it is a problem. Then I will explain to you why the mistake goes against this idea that you should represent your content on your readers' terms. I will explain to you what your readers would like to see and how they would like to see it. And then I will show you a way of addressing the mistake that we're discussing. So I've got 10 of these to cover, and this is the first one. So what does it mean to bury the main point? Well, take a look at this example. Here is a piece of content related to cybersecurity. Can you take a look at it, and can you notice a problem? And if you do notice a problem, think about ways in which you might address it. So let me pause here and give you a chance to do so. Once you've thought about this, then proceed to the next screen. When reviewing this writing sample, did you notice that it presented several ideas inside a single paragraph, which is just fine. So here's the first idea. It is the first sentence that you see here. And then later in the paragraph, there's the second idea, the second sentence. What is the purpose then of the last sentence of this paragraph? Well, when you look at it, you will see that the last sentence of this paragraph summarizes the first 2 points. This last sentence acts as the summary, and that is exactly what your readers don't want to see. They don't like seeing the main point at the end of the content. Instead, what your readers want to see are the key points up front. So how would you address that problem that you saw on the previous screen? This is what we saw, but all that I did to address the problem is I moved the last sentence to the front. You see, now we provide the reader with the most important takeaway from this paragraph right away. This is the summary. It's the same summary that you saw at the end, but there it acted as a conclusion. Most readers are quite busy. You're a reader as well. I'm sure you consume a lot of content. You understand that in many cases, you're skimming your content, looking to grab the most important ideas. And so, by presenting the most important idea up front, in this case, you are using this as a topic sentence for the paragraph. By presenting the most important idea up front, you allow the reader to derive the most important information from this paragraph right away, and you allow the reader to decide whether he or she should continue reading the paragraph or maybe reading the opening sentence is sufficient. So, my advice to you is to preview the key takeaways up front. The reason why this is very important is because you should take advantage of the limited attention your reader is giving you when starting to look at your content. Well, you have the reader's attention, present the key takeaways. This way, if the reader ends up not reading the rest of your content, at least you had an opportunity to sneak in the most important takeaways. Now, this idea applies not only to the topic sentence of a paragraph, but to other parts of your content. So imagine if you're working on a report whose thumbnail you see on the right side of your screen here. I don't expect you to read the actual words or even be able to see the letters of this report. I want you to see the overall structure. What I want you to notice is that each paragraph has an opening sentence, a topic sentence. And that topic sentence acts as the preview or the summary of that paragraph. That is the most important idea of the paragraph. I also want you to see that when you have a report that contains multiple sections, each section has its own heading, and that heading acts as the preview of the contents for that section. You could also think of that heading as the summary of that section. And that is why I encourage you to make sure that your headings are informative. Because you don't know, maybe your reader is just skimming your document by only looking at the headings of your sections. And here is your opportunity to relay the most important ideas briefly to that reader and perhaps entice the person into reading the rest of the section. Along these lines, your longer report will have a summary. That summary acts as the preview of the rest of the contents. And recognize that in many cases, the only part of your report that your readers will look at will be the summary. So that means that this is your opportunity to relay the most important ideas for those readers who might not have interest or time or attention for reading the rest of your content.